Yeah, you got it. Okay, so Ibai Rigby, you know him from workshops probably last year, and now we'll be speaking about Actar Publishing and UrbanNext. Thanks.
So thank you, Becky, for inviting me to the Kosovo Architecture Festival. So today I'll be speaking in the name of Actar Publishers, which I'm working for, and I'll be representing here for tonight. So Actar is a Spanish publisher based in Barcelona, founded in 1994. But the name comes from Rubió and Tudori, a book that was Actar, meaning activity and architecture. So the idea that we will publish books on architecture, but an architecture that goes beyond the building and gets into activity. And so when Actar was created, there was this feeling that many books of architecture were very limited to talking only about architects and architecture. And Actar came with the idea to renew a little bit the landscape in the production of books. And this was in the 90s. We still didn't know that plastic was so bad for the ecology. But the idea was to experiment with books as pieces of architecture. And for example, there were some books, like this book on Barcelona, that was a book, and at the same time it was a camera. So you could take pictures with the book, and then send this book back, and we will send the book back with the picture. This is also a collection of magazines, architecture magazines for the Catalan, not school, but Architecture Association, which DPR also participated in this as editors in another version of this same magazine. And Actar since then was also interested in looking at the city from different ways. So this is the book that came with the catalogue of imagining Catalonia in the future in different ways, radical ways. Actar was also publishing at the time the catalogue of the Venice Architecture Biennale, curated by Maximiano Fuxas. And the Metabolism Dictionary of Advanced Architecture. So it was always this idea. I mean, what can architects bring to the realm of books, and what can books bring to the realm of architecture? No, it's books are our creative processes. Architecture is our creative processes. So what happens when architects start to make books? And sometimes, well, we came with ideas, with this idea of verb as a verb, like verb, something that is an action. But that was a kind of mix between a book and a magazine, no? So what about making a magazine that you could keep as a book, but will have a content that is as fresh as a magazine? So this was a series, and it went on and on and on until the last number we issued of this series that came in 2010, after the economic crisis that really hit hard. Not only, I mean, the economic crisis was everywhere, but in Spain it really hit hard the world of architects, and together with the crisis of the world of architects, with the crisis in publications, because less and less people buy books, and there's more and more content online. So this a little bit was a closing to this. Some examples of this kind of book where these books will not only publish the end result of a project, but they will present the process. So, for example, for the Fukuyama terminal by Alejandro Zaira and Farsi Musavi, which now are different architects, but we published a book that was all about the process, and then a book that was about the project finished. So just a collection of books of that time. maybe you know some of these books, like Mutations was a famous book done by Rem Koolhaas and the Harvard Project of the City, which had a project inside this book on the uncertain states of Europe, in which Kosovo was one of those case studies presented in this book. More books. And this is our catalog, as you can check it today. If you go to our website, these are the books we are publishing now. And as you'll see, some are here for you to see. And now I want to talk also about UrbanNext. So after working for 20 years in the world of publishing books, we started to think that it was more and more important to also address the digital world, but not only by publishing e-books, but creating a platform for architecture and for architects that will serve a platform like understanding the internet as a public space. With the idea that the city is very complex today, and the only way to get to solution for the city is through networking. And networking in a very non-hierarchical way. So with this idea of from tweet to papers, no? Why? I mean, maybe Twitter is one of the best places to find new ideas. So with this idea of the digital world, we created this website, UrbanNext, where on one side you have projects, articles by people we pick, but on the other side, if you tweet anything on Twitter and you tag UrbanNext, it will appear here. No? So the website, in a way, becomes like a public space, talking about the things we are publishing. And with this idea, well, as a whole, the idea is that at the end we are here to communicate architecture, to communicate ideas on the city. We were asked by the Biennial of South Korea in Seoul to help organizing the event. So we published the catalog of the event, but we were also publishing materials that were being discussed during this event. These are our sponsors. And well, this is a little bit what we do. So feel free to pick some of our books and take a look. Thank you.